You mentioned it's amusing that they are flying into the arms of a billionaire, namely Pritzker. But isn't it amusing on a second count? And that is that Illinois is one of the most gerrymandered states in the country, right? And so the Democrats have been doing all this. And so when they flex their muscles these days and go, well, if you guys redistrict, we're going to start doing it too. I'm thinking you've already redistricted Maryland. You've already redistricted Illinois. Look at the very peculiar shaped districts you've carved out there. And you have huge swaths of rural Illinois, just thousands and thousands just a vast stretch of territory, and yet all that space has pretty much like one representative because they figured out how to draw the line to kind of get all the red people into one county so they can take all the other seats. So the Democrats, it seems, have been at this game for a while. They're really good at it. And I think what you're saying is Republicans are finally kind of matching them their wits.
Absolutely. And, I'm a Chicago native, so I came to Texas back in 2004, but I'm originally from Chicago and still have family there. And you're right, it's so gerrymandered. You can be in one side of the street, you cross the street and you're a completely different district, and then you cross the street again, you're in another district. It's absolutely absurd and hilarious, like you said, that they're complaining about gerrymandering, and then they took off to the most gerrymandered state. And Governor Newsom in California has announced that they're going to retaliate by doing redistricting themselves. And what a lot of people don't know is, California has years ago created an independent redistricting system, and that is completely separate from the Democrat leaders, right? So in order for Newsom to act on this threat, they need to actually hold a special election that would require voter approval to temporarily modify California's independent redistricting system. And just to hold that election is going to cost them $200 million. And will they spend it? I think they'd be willing to, because they're willing to throw the money away on any sort of garbage. But whether it'll actually happen or not is up for debate.
And isn't it also true, because the other noises are coming out of Kathy Hochul in New York, and she's like, well, we're going to take action in New York. But I understand that there are obstacles in New York for them to do the same thing. In other words, I think what you're pointing to is a number of these Democratic states have created these independent commissions. They've done it as if to say, well, listen, we're a blue state, but we're not trying to control the process. We have this objective commission, even though they often nominate people to those commissions. But the commissions, such as they are, do act as a bit of a restraint on people like Hochul and Newsom, so that they might threaten to do things. But I think what you're saying is it's not all that easy for them to pull it off.
It's not. And, the winners make the history, right? And Republicans have performed very well recently. President Donald Trump has basically requested it. He wants these 5 seats specifically in Texas, and he's going to get them. Texans want it, right? If you were to go around and poll the state, Texans in majority want more Republicans in office. We talk a lot, specifically in Texas, we talk a lot about the fear of people coming into our state and turning the state blue. Actually, stats show that to be quite the opposite, especially during the Beto versus Ted Cruz race. Polling found that Texas natives voted overwhelmingly for Beto versus Texas immigrants, people coming here from other states. So what we're starting to see is, I think, a lot of these moderate right or even Republicans in lefty states are moving to right-wing states such as Texas. They're realizing what they've got here, and they're voting properly and becoming maybe even stronger conservatives.
I mean, that's very interesting, isn't it? Because it seems to me like if a high-tech company moves from San Francisco and forces its employees to move with it, then it's quite possible you're going to get some Democrats, you're going to get some progressives, because it's not their choice to move. They're moving because the job kind of relocated. But on the other hand, if you've got people who freely go, hey, listen, even though I like the sunshine and I like the beach, I'm going to leave California for Texas. Who's going to be the kind of people who are thinking that? It's going to be people who go, I like the idea that there's no state income tax. I like the idea that everything is much better run in Texas, from the DMV to everything else. And so those are going to be right-leaning conservatives for the most part. And And not to mention the fact that aren't we seeing a rightward drift in the southern Hispanic part of Texas? So that the fears that Texas was going to go blue because of the emerging Hispanic majority of Texas, that has proven to be not true. You know, Hollywood continues with its antics, and in a time when Hollywood peddles moral confusion, cultural decay, we need an alternative, and that's Angel Studios. They're doing something truly remarkable, creating films that inspire and reflect our values. Their latest release, it's called Sketch. It's a prime example. Imagine Stranger Things meets Inside Out, but with virtue, imagination, and heart at the center. The story follows a young girl whose sketchbook falls into a mysterious pond, only to have her wild, colorful drawings spring to life. It's suspenseful, it's funny, it's deeply moving, it's entertainment with a moral compass. If you're a premium Angel Guild member, you already have 2 free tickets waiting for you for Sketch in theaters starting August 6th. If not, now is the time to join and take a stand for media that strengthens families instead of tearing them down. You'll also unlock Angel's entire streaming library, content that aligns with faith, freedom, and truth. Visit angel.com/Dinesh today. Become a part of the Angel Guild to receive 2 free tickets to Sketch in theaters August 6th. Go to angel.com/Dinesh.